We'll call the city council meeting to order for Monday, April 15, 2024. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Mayor Hoyt.
Here.
Councilmember Brunetz. Here. Councilmember Lean.
Here.
Councilmember Porter. Here. Councilmember Wilson.
Here.
All right. Any changes to the agenda? Leah or Nick? Holly, Katie, Steve?
None, Mayor.
None.
And Shirley. All right. I'm going to make a change. I'm actually going to remove item 12.1 to be considered at a future date. So I would look for the motion, or I would look for a motion to approve the agenda, removing item 12.1.
Motion to approve the agenda, removing 12.1.
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Katie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on. We have no announcements. We'll go to citizen comments. If there's anyone in attendance wishing to speak at this time, please come up to the podium. All right, seeing none, we'll move on to our consent agenda. We'd look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Katie.
Second.
Second by Nick. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. And we'll move right on into our item 8.1, which is a public hearing. And since item 8.1 is a public hearing for the vacation of drainage and utility easement within the St. Michael's Addition Plat, I'm going to open the public hearing at this time. Tony.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members. Before you this evening is a request from the Church of St. Michael's requesting the vacation of a certain drainage and utility easement that's located on their property at 22120 Denmark Avenue. The subject easement to be vacated is a blanket drainage and utility easement that covers the entirety of what is labeled Outlot D of St. Michael's Addition. The church would like to construct a new rectory on the area that's encumbered with the easement. New drainage and utility easements will be dedicated with the proposed replat St. Michael's 3rd edition, which we'll be reviewing here in just a little while. Per state statute, the city council must conduct a public hearing regarding the proposed vacation after public and posted notice of said vacation. I have the map up here. The red area is the Outlot D, showing the blanket drainage and utility easement. The action that is requested this evening is, after any public comment is taken, close the public hearing regarding the vacation of the drainage and utility easement and adopt resolution 2024-29 vacating existing drainage and utility easement on St. Michael's Addition.
Thank you, sir. Nick, any questions for Tony at this time? Holly?
No.
Katie?
I have none.
Steve?
None.
Okay. Tony, I don't have any questions for you. Does anybody have any questions for the applicant? If the applicant wants to say anything? If not, no, you're not obligated. It's a public hearing, so you have the option to.
Questions, I'm happy to answer.
All right. If there's no questions for the applicant,
Mayor, I actually do
Yeah.
have, so I do have a question, Tony. No concerns at all. It's more of a, when the church, was chosen to be constructed there, was there a thought that one of the outlots might turn into this use at a future point in time?
They had looked at a couple different options for the use of the outlots. I know a portion of it was looked at specifically for building expansion. I believe this one back in 1998 when it was originally platted, I think they were looking at potentially expanding the parking lot as part of that.
Okay. Got it. Okay, thank you.
all right. And again, it is a public hearing, so if there's any residents that want to speak about the agenda item, feel free to do so at this time. All right, seeing none.
Mayor, quick question. Did
yes,
you
sir.
open the public hearing? Do we have to, is it a
Nope, I
formal
opened it at the very
public-
beginning.
You did,
Yep,
okay.
with the reading
Sorry
of the
about that.
agenda item.
Thank you.
That's all right. All right, so we'll close the public hearing at this time. Is there any additional discussion or deliberation by council? Nick, Holly, Peter, Steve?
None.
All right. Then we would look for a motion we look for a motion to approve the vacation of the drainage and utility easement and adopt Resolution 2024-29, vacating the existing drainage and utility easement in the St. Michael's addition.
Motion.
Motion by Katie,
Second.
second by Holly. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Burnett. Yes. Councilmember Lean.
Yes.
Councilmember Porter. Yes. Councilmember Wilson.
Yes.
Mayor Hoyt.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Moving on, next item on our agenda is 10-1, which is the St. Michael's 3rd Edition Preliminary and Final Plat. Tony.
Thank you. The Church of St. Michael is requesting review of and approval of the preliminary and final plat. There we go. For St. Michael's 3rd Edition. The current land use obviously is a Catholic church campus and vacant land. The area is bounded by industrial zoning to the east, that being Dakota Electric. Medium to high density residential zoning is to the north and south, and agricultural is adjacent to the west. The existing zoning is R1 low density residential, which churches are conditional use. They did get their approval of a conditional use for the rectory at last week's planning commission meeting, so that part has been taken care of. As far as the preliminary and final plat itself, basically what happens is that it combines Outlot D of St. Michael's Addition, which was platted in 1998, with the larger parent parcel to be part of what is Lot 1, Block 1 of St. Michael's 3rd Edition. As I previously mentioned, the church wishes to build a rectory in the location of Outlot D, which is a grayed out area shown on the preliminary plat. The plat is adjacent to county right-of-way, both CASA 74, which is Ash Street, and County Road 31, Denmark Avenue. Therefore, it is subject to the county's contiguous plat ordinance. The County Plat Commission did meet on March 27th and recommended approval of the preliminary and final plats, being subject to dedicating of 20 feet of additional right-of-way for CASA 74. This will be a condition of approval. As we just had the public hearing regarding the vacation of the existing easement, the new plat does provide new easements with the 3rd edition, and those easements are acceptable to staff. The Planning Commission did review the preliminary and final plat at its April 9th regular meeting and voted 5-0 to recommend approval of the preliminary and final plat. The action that's requested this evening is adopt resolution 2024-31 approving the St. Michael's 3rd Edition preliminary and final plat, contingent upon the following. Number 1, additional 20 feet of right-of-way must be provided on the plats for CASA 74. And number 2, the instrument of dedication on the final plat must be revised to change the wording from City of Hastings to City of Farmington.
Very nice.
Any questions?
Thank you, sir. Steve, any questions?
None.
Katie?
I have none. Thanks, Tony.
Holly?
No.
Nick?
Nothing. Thanks.
And I have no questions. We would look for a motion to approve the adopt resolution as presented.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Holly, second by Steve. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Lean.
Yes.
Councilmember Porter. Yes. Councilmember Wilson.
Yes.
Mayor Hoyt.
Yes.
Councilmember Burnett. Yes.
All right. Moving on, item 10-2 is the Vermillion Commons 3rd Edition Final Plat. Tony,
I will just stay right here.
it's your night.
Yes, the Lennar is requesting the approval of Vermillion Commons 3rd Edition. This edition consists of 67 townhome lots. Is consistent with approved preliminary plat, which include 276 townhome units over just under 76 acres, which yield a density of 6.7 units per acre. Property is zoned R3 planned unit development. The setbacks that are proposed are 25 feet for the front yard, 15 for the side corner, 10 feet interior side, and 10 feet rear yard setback. In addition to the 67 townhome lots, there are 18 outlots. With this plat, Outlot A is just under 2 acres and consists of stormwater facility. Outlot B is 7.3 acres and contains 4 natural gas easements and open space. Outlot C is 2.8 and consists of stormwater facility. Outlots A, B, and C will be deeded to the city as part of this plat. Outlot R is just over 11 acres, consists of future development and natural gas line easements. Outlots E and I consist of private roads. And then all the remaining outlots consist of common area around the various townhome lots. This is a copy of the 3rd edition plat. Again, blown up area showing the proposed townhome lots. Access to the 3rd edition will come from the extension of Denton Avenue to the north, along with the western extension of 218th Street West. Lilac Drive will extend north from 218th Street West on the west side of the development, and this then will provide future access to the adjacent property to the west. Denton Avenue, 218th Street, and Lilac Drive will all be 60-foot wide right-of-way with 32-foot wide roadways. The private streets that are labeled E and I are measured 27 feet, and that's measured from curb to curb. And there will be curb and gutter there as well. 8-foot wide bituminous trail will be constructed along the northern boundary of the plat and continue through the central portion of the development. Trail is also provided on the north side of 218th Street West. 5-foot wide sidewalk will be installed on the west side of Denton Avenue and extend around the traffic circle. I call it a cul-de-sac, but it's a traffic circle. Sidewalk will also be installed on the south side of 218th Street West and on the east side of Lilac Drive. On the map there, the yellow shows the trail and the red is the sidewalk that is proposed within this 3rd edition. There are 11 off-street parking spaces that will be provided within the 3rd edition. Additionally, the proposed 2-story townhomes consist of 2-car garages and space for 2 parked cars in the driveway for each unit. We did a whole calculation when the preliminary plat went through on off-street parking, and they exceed what our code does require. So, the Plan Commission reviewed the final plat at its April 9th regular meeting and voted 5-0 to recommend approval. The action as requested this evening is adopt resolution 2024-32 approving and authorizing signing of the final plat for Vermillion Commons 3rd edition contingent upon the following. Number 1, satisfaction of all engineering comments related to the construction plans for grading and utilities. And number 2, a development contract between the applicant and City of Farmington shall be executed and security fees and costs shall be paid. Submission of all other documents required under the development contract shall be required.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions?
Katie, any questions?
I was just trying to review the west side exit, because there were some new street names in there. Is the main exit out of, like, the main exterior out of the entire subdivision is still Denmark, however, though? Is that correct?
It will be, yes.
Okay,
Correct.
so either to go north or south? Just because I know there were some traffic concerns specifically, obviously, with.
Yep, and then
busing
eventually
times.
Denton will extend south
Okay,
and extend out to 220th. And then Lilac will come around and we, interestingly enough, we just got a application for property adjacent to the west. So Lilac will connect into that and then extend all the way through that to the south to 220th as well, so.
so any future north exit to like 50? Where there would be.
To the north, not with the
Where they would be
wetland and the
bypassing.
river
Right,
that are
okay,
there.
that's what I assumed.
Right.
Okay.
And if you don't mind, on that question, is the access on Denmark, if I recall correctly, that was going to be constructed so that you could go north out of there, but once Denton connected to 220th, then that was going to turn into a right in, right out? Or that's staying?
That's
so-
a full
okay,
access.
Okay, yep, all right.
Okay.
I know we had talked about that earlier, but I couldn't recall if it had
It's a full access.
full access, okay.
Sorry, I was just thinking through infrastructure concerns, but obviously those are specific to time of day.
Right.
So hopefully, but thank you for,
Yep. And we did do a safe routes to school plan with Bachman Middle School as part of part of a grant that we received.
Okay.
And I know the county is well aware of this development. They are actually looking at studying Denmark Avenue as a whole. So there's some opportunity to potentially do some improvements as far as that is concerned to try to alleviate any kind of pedestrian type
Yep.
issues. Now, I believe the school, no matter the location, are still planning to bus this development to the school, even though it's literally across the street, and that's because of the road itself. It's a fairly highly traveled and high-speed road.
Yep.
But yeah, they still plan to bus. It doesn't mean that you're still not going to have kids that are going to try to cross, though. So,
Remind me, with that first edition, is there a southbound?
the townhome areas to try to accommodate that, so you're not parking on 218.
Okay. Then, along with the crossing the river question, is the next anticipated north-south crossing over the river going to be Pilot Knob then?
Eaton Avenue, likely.
Oh, okay, yeah. That'd be my only question then, I guess. Thank you.
I don't have any questions.
Sorry, Mayor, I do have one more question, if
Sure,
that's okay.
go ahead. No,
Okay,
you're-
so
you're fine.
at 218th, I believe that's where the street crosses to that initial southernmost entrance for Bachman, correct?
Correct.
Is there any potential for even a crosswalk there in the future? Whether it's a blinking light crosswalk or?
I think that's all part of the discussion that we had as part of the Safe Routes to School.
Okay.
And the county, I think, is going to review that as part of their overall study of that corridor.
Okay, and how likely, I mean, what's the time frame we're thinking on that?
That I don't know.
Okay,
Mayor and council members, the Dakota County is in the process of issuing the RFP. It may be out within a couple of weeks to consulting firms, and then they'll receive proposals for the corridor study. The city, I will be on the review committee, if you will, for the consultant. With regard to a flashing signal based on the speed of the roadway and the level of traffic, I think it'd be very unlikely in its current configuration.
I know that in their future transportation plan that they were potentially, they had marked Denmark from essentially 50 to, or we'll just say Elm to Ash, that they had designated that as future going back to the city, similar to what they did with Dodd. Are they mentioning that in this conversation at all?
Mayor and council members, there's been no recent discussions about that. I don't think that's a factor when it comes to the corridor study. The corridor study is really focused on the future configuration, the access, the full access, the locations, also the crossing of the greenway and the trail. The bridge needs work right now, so it could be a case where they're lengthening the bridge to accommodate a trail going underneath. All that is going to be studied as part of the corridor study.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Any other questions or comments?
none, thank you.
The only thing I was going to add for the builder is, it seems like you're developing fast and the need is there, so it's a missing segment of our housing mix in the community, and it seems very well received, so all good, all good. With that, we look for a motion to approve the adopt resolution as presented.
Motion.
Motion by Steve,
You know what, I should say motion to approve, sorry about that.
Second.
motion by Steve, second by Holly. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Porter.
Yes,
Councilmember Wilson.
Yes.
Mayor Hoyt.
Yes.
Councilmember Burnett. Yes. Councilmember Lean.
Yes.
All right. We got one more for you, right?
Got one more for you.
12-2, Resolution 2024-30 approving annexation of certain property pursuant to the joint resolution for orderly annexation by and between the Township of Castle Rock and the City of Farmington. Tony.
All right, there we go. Yes, the city, thank you, Mayor, Council. The city did receive a petition for annexation from ISD 192 on March 5th for the property formerly known as the Angus property, which is located at the southwest intersection of Biscayne Avenue and 225th Street West. The subject property is less than 200 acres in size and is located within the approved orderly annexation area that we currently have with Castle Rock Township. The current OAA, which I'll abbreviate it for that, but that's our orderly annexation agreement, was put in place back in 2017. This agreement does establish an annexation area and provides the city with certain authority to annex lands that are located within that designated area. The OAA also establishes that the township will not file any objection with the state of Minnesota concerning the annexation, provided that the annexation does comply with that approved OAA. Per section 6 of the agreement, if the city does intend to act on the petition to annex the property, the city will, within 14 days of receipt of the petition, provide the township with 2 specific things. Number 1, the legal description and map of the property proposed to be annexed. And number 2, a description of the proposed use of the said property. This notice was provided to the township, was hand-delivered on March 6th. The township was given its 30-day comment period per the agreement. That comment period ended on April 5th, and as of today, no comments were received from the township regarding it. Upon approval, the resolution will be forwarded to the Office of Administrative Hearings within the state for processing. Therefore, the action that is requested this evening is to approve the resolution 2024-30, approving the annexation of certain property pursuant to the joint resolution for orderly annexation by and between the Township of Castle Rock and the City of Farmington.
Thank you, sir. That's why it's called orderly, right? Any questions? Katie?
I have none.
Steve?
None.
Holly?
No.
Nick?
None.
All right, I have none for you as well. Look for a motion to approve the attached resolution as presented.
I will make a motion to approve.
Motion by Steve,
Second.
second by Nick. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Wilson,
Yes.
Mayor Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilmember Bernatz,
Yes.
Councilmember Lean,
Yes.
Councilmember Porter.
Yes.
All right, you're all
Thank
done,
you.
sir. All right, the next item on the agenda is the performance review of the city administrator. We need a motion to go into a closed session to conduct the performance evaluation.
Motion.
Real quick, Mayor, if you don't mind reading the exact
Oh, yeah.
language with the statute, that'd be great. Thanks.
I'll get you here. All right. So we need a motion to go into closed session to conduct the performance evaluation of City Administrator Lynn Gorski pursuant to Minnesota Statute 13 Delta .05.
Motion.
Motion by Holly, second by Katie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, and we are out at 7:24. Thank you all for coming.